We've battled some of the most iconic fast food dishes in the world. Today we're going up against what I think might be one of the most overrated foods on planet Earth. The McDonald's French fry is probably the most iconic fast food item that has ever existed, period. Let me make a quick point. If you go to every major metropolitan city across the globe and ask if someone has had a McDonald's French fry, many of them will probably say yes. Too many of them will say that it's the best. So today we're putting that to the test. Is the McDonald's fry still as iconic as it once was? So we're gonna get a bunch of blind taste testers with a mix of different fast food French fries to see if they can still pick out the McDonald's French fry with no eyesight, only taste. Then once we've done that, we go head to head. So with that being said, let's begin. Okay, so I have 3 taste testers and they're gonna see if they can identify which one is the McDonald's fry. Is it truly iconic like we all think it is? We're gonna find out. Vikram, over here, buddy. I will be rearranging this so they don't know which one's which. Number 1.
That's not the McDonald's fry.
Number 2.
That's so similar to the last one. This has a higher chance to me of being the McDonald's fry.
Number 3.
Ah, this is the McDonald's fry.
Number 4.
That is so close to being a McDonald's fry. That's crazy.
So now we're on our last one, number 5.
That is not a McDonald's fry.
So it's in between 3 or 4.
4 was pretty salty. I think that's the Wendy's one, but I think 3 is the McDonald's fry.
Number 3 is the McDonald's fry. Wow, I'm actually shocked. Good palate, Vic. Cam is next, and Cam has a restaurant background. 1.
That might be.
2.
That is not the McDonald's fry.
3, 4, 5.
Nope. I think 1.
Boom! Another, I'm actually shocked that this is working. We have 1 more. So we have Kevin. Some people in the comments will probably be thinking, oh no, not this guy again.
I feed off of the haters.
Number 1.
That is not a McDonald's fry.
I like the astuteness of the choice. Number 2.
That is not a McDonald's fry.
Number 3. Earlier he did say he knows his fries.
This is not a McDonald's fry.
You haven't even tasted it.
I just know.
Okay. Number 4.
That could be a McDonald's fry.
And finally, number 5.
Number 4 could have been, but unfortunately it was not because number 5 is undoubtedly the McDonald's fry.
Kevin, you are wrong. That was the Whataburger fry.
I'll be here all week.
Clearly, it's an iconic fry, but why? Chemicals. Now look, this isn't some sort of smear campaign, but we need to understand this. Things like dextrose, sodium acid pyrophosphate goes into a water bath that these fries get dunked in. So how do you beat science? Proper technique and good ingredients. So I'm gonna make the French fry recipe from my cookbook Texture Over Taste and put that up against my own McDonald's style chemical bath French fry. Whichever fry wins competes against the famous McDonald's fry. Let's begin. So these are fries. Real nice, yummy wummy. Potatoes, fat, and salt in just about every scenario is, well, gonna taste good. So what would really ruin a good French fry? The taste, the flavor, or because you got a flaccid, zero crunch French fry? Maybe even a chewy one. That is the secret that nobody seems to want to talk about or cover. It's texture. I'm not trying to plug the book here. I just want to make this point real quick. We're too busy talking about flavor and we forgot about the other half of the conversation when it comes to food that we love. But it's also available for pre-order. The link's in the description. Now that I'm off my soapbox, let's begin. First up, my cookbook recipe, but I'm using tallow instead of vegetable oil to get that classic McDonald's taste. Start by peeling 3 large, perfect potatoes. Listen, even McDonald's only selects the most perfectly shaped round potatoes. And by the way, the length of the potato will determine the length of your French fry, so choose carefully. Now, if you happen to be doing more, I would recommend doing it over a small sheet of parchment paper, because then when you're done, wrap up the parchment paper like a mini garbage bag and toss all the skins at once. Instantly clean. Now, slice your potatoes into 1/4-inch thick planks. You can obviously do this with a knife, but I used a mandolin to get much more precise cuts, and it's, honestly, much faster. If you don't have a knife, I don't know why you're here. Go get one. Doesn't have to be a fancy one. Now that you have your 1/4-inch thick plank, you're gonna cut across that plank at 1/4-inch intervals, so you end up with perfectly even, nice batons, like so. Now it's time for their little bath. To a large 6 to 7 quart stock pot, add 3 quarts or 3 liters of water, 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of baking soda, 1 1/4 tablespoon or 18 grams of kosher salt, 2 tablespoons or 28 grams of white distilled vinegar. Bring that to a boil over medium-high heat, then drop in your potatoes. Slightly boil these for 1 to 2 minutes. Be very careful. This is super important. Do not cook these all the way through. Depending on the elevation, humidity, and the trajectory of the moon and the sun, you may need to adjust cook time up or down. You want these potatoes to be nearly cooked, but still slightly raw. They should not break easily. If they do, well, rip. Now, take them out using a spider and gently transfer to a paper towel-lined baking sheet and dry them off as much as possible using more paper towels. You want these bone dry. Morbid comparison person, but anyway. Now, in a separate large heavy bottom Dutch oven, you really want something like 6 to 8 quarts in size minimum. Add just enough tallow to go up halfway up the pot. So like 2.5 to 3 quarts. What is tallow? Well, my dear boy, you see, tallow is quite literally rendered beef fat. You can make it yourself by heating a lot of raw beef fat over low heat in a pan until it's rendered to a liquid state, which by the way will re-solidify if you chill it. Or you could just buy it at the store or literally on Amazon. It's way faster when you need this much. This is for the McDonald's vibes because McDonald's used to fry their fries in tallow. That's that old school, baby. Heat that to 350 Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius. Add half your potatoes and fry for about 1 minute or until you have a pale, dry crust on the outside of the fries. Don't get any color on these bad boys. I want them pale, I want them dry, I want them nice. Now you have what I'd call your pre-crust to the crust. Repeat with the other half of your fries, and at this point, once they're drained and dried off, pop your fries into the freezer until frozen solid. And by the way, you can leave them in there in the freezer until you're ready to use them, pretty much indefinitely. Or you could use them as soon as they're solid, about 3 to 4 hours. Now, keep your tallow in that pot because you're gonna use it again. Then when you're ready to fry, reheat your oil to around 350 to 375 Fahrenheit. 350 will produce a fry that's more similar to the color of a McDonald's fry. 375 will give you a little bit more of a browning. Neither are wrong. Follow your heart. We all get caught up in our day-to-day, focus so much on our goals that maybe we forget to make decisions for us or ourselves or our happiness. Then pop in those fries, yes, straight from the freezer in batches. Again, make sure that fat is not any higher than halfway up the pot because it will bubble a lot, and let's not cause a fire. Okay, please be careful. You have been warned. Once golden but not too brown and beautifully crispy, transfer to a wire rack lined baking tray. Immediately season generously with kosher salt. Do not wait. Salt sticks to hot, fresh fried food. Repeat with your remaining fries and serve right away. The most beautiful fry I think I've ever made. Moving on to the McDonald's copycat chemical version. I actually literally bought those chemicals. Matter of fact, I had to buy a $500 bag of this stuff and various hydrocolloids. So you're gonna follow the exact same method as before, except the boiling liquid is going to have, well, yes, water, but also 1 tablespoon or 8 grams of dextrose, 5 grams of sodium acid pyrophosphate. Yeah, that literally cost me like $600 just to get this, and I have like 50 pounds of it. 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of salt, 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of milk powder, 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of nutritional yeast, 2 tablespoons or 28 grams of beef flavoring, 2 tablespoons or 28 grams of vinegar. Dip your fries in a little bath, same as before, dry them. Here they are side by side with the natural fries at the same stage. Oddly preserved color, but that makes sense since the pyromaniac stuff, or whatever it is a color preservative. This time we're gonna be frying in a vegetable canola oil blend instead of beef fat, and we did our exact same par fry for the same amount of time, dried them, froze them, and then fried them one more time. Here they are side by side. Now, we need to see which French fry will go head to head with McDonald's. Will it be the French fry with real ingredients and technique, or the McDonald's chemical bath version? Then we'll go head to head with McDonald's. Okay, so me and a blind taste tester will taste these. I'm gonna taste them without a blindfold. You heard that? Wow, those are really good. So these are the OG version from my cookbook right here. And then this is a riff off the cookbook recipe using what McDonald's uses, a tiny, like microscopic amount of sodium acid pyrophosphate and beef flavoring. Funny enough, they're actually not as crunchy. They're a bit more flaccid, but they're almost like chewier, which I don't like. The actual real beef flavor from the tallow, it's like giving me steak/burger vibes. I just already know that this belongs with a burger. So I'm choosing this one, but now we're gonna bring in the blind taste test. All right, Vikram, you ready?
I'm so ready.
Okay, here we go. Number 1.
Damn, that's great.
Now fry number 2. Again, a double fry.
First one's better. This one, it's a bit saltier. That's really all it goes past like a normal fry. The OG one, the beef flavors really come through. And I think that's what kicks it up a notch over a normal fry. It looks like a McDonald's fry. But what you get out of this is just really deep beef flavoring on top of a potato, which steak and potato is already good. This is all of that in one fry. That is super powerful.
This basically gives me artificial vibes, and this is just like perfectly executed, real, legitimate food. And it's better texturally.
If you're to make anything ever, this is what you gotta make. This is insane. These are the best fries I've ever had, period.
This is a good feeling, big flex. Now we know that real technique does prevail, and you don't need chemicals. Now that that's done, we still need to find out if this is gonna beat the McDonald's fry. But at least we know that natural ingredients prevail, right? So, fingers crossed. All right, get a little refresher here. Okay. You ever had something so goddamn good? Say you're eating something categorically. Whatever the category is, let's take French fries out of the equation. Maybe there's a certain brand you really like. And then you eat something else that's a different brand. And it makes you forget that the other brand even exists. That is exactly what these fries do. You eat this fry and you might go, oh, my childhood nostalgia is kicking in. No, that's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. But then you realize that there are things that are better in life. As you get older, there are the finer things in life. Things that are really worth doing, or eating in this case. These are those fries, but this isn't complete without the blind taste test. You're gonna know which one's which. I mean, let's be real here. Number 1.
Too good.
Number 2. Poor soapy. It's not that the McDonald's fries are bad.
Just these are so much better. A lot of but betters we've had, there's been astronomical winners. This is down here, this is all the way up here.
Let's just take texture out of the equation. Even flavor-wise, right? This is the perfect painting. And then when this was created, you just turn the saturation all the way down.
This is maxed out. This, I didn't know a French fry could exist like this, but it does now.
I can't believe I'm giving this recipe away for free, all right? It's on page